In this video, we will go over how to find menswear resources in Doneger Creative Services. Starting from the library homepage, you'll want to click on our databases page. From here, there are two ways to get to all of our databases. First, you'll see that we have them all sorted by subject here, but you can also click the databases A to Z list. Now, since we're looking for forecasting materials, looking by subject, we can see that we have a forecasting and trend reporting subject. So let's click on that. Clicking on this will take you to all of our forecasting and trend reporting services. And as you'll see, Doneger is the first one on the list because it comes first in the alphabet. Now, Doneger requires a slightly different login than many of our resources. When you click on this link, you'll actually be taken to a page that requires you to log in with your FIT username and password, and then you'll have an intermediary page which will tell you the password that we use for Doneger and give you the link to the resource itself. Since I've already logged in, I can just take us right to their homepage. So this is the Doneger homepage, and as you'll see, it sort of features some of their most recent content. They offer a combination of written, pictorial, and video content. So for example, you'll see this color and design concept link. If we click on it, this is going to take you to a video that's almost a full half hour about their latest for fall winter 2021. But let's go back to their homepage. And you'll see that they have their content divided through this menu at the top. So first you'll see they have seasonal themes. These are their top level macro themes. So these are not divided by menswear or womenswear. They're simply the high level macro themes that they think will influence everything. So taking a look at one of them, we can click on the link and you'll see that it's going to take us to a page that summarizes and explains what they think this means for inspirational macro level trends. And once we're in this trend, you'll see that it does have men's inspiration broken out separately. So we can click on this to find out what's going to be happening with this trend, specifically for menswear. And it'll take you to a lot of nice graphic information with actual photos from the runway of how they think this trend is going to be impacting menswear specifically. Next up is forecasts. So if we click on the forecast link, this will take us to the page where they have by season all of their forecasting information. And again here, menswear is broken out separately. Clicking on this, you'll see that we're taken to a sort of virtual flipbook where we can find out more information and more specifics about their menswear forecast. Clicking on this arrow will bring you to the next page, and they start with the fall-winter concepts. So these are kind of the higher level, more macro level trends. And then they dive into each of these. So you'll see that they're going to tell you first about what the concept itself is, how it's going to influence the rest of world and lifestyle, and then more specifics. As you'll see, when they give you color palette information, they include the codes that you would need to find this in the Pantone system. And they also cover things like color combinations, how are the colors going to work together, materials that are going to be used, complete with very nice photos of specific swatches to help you to determine the texture and see what the types of materials that are going to be used are going to look like during this season, what the prints that are going to be important are, and then more specific items and item level information. Next up, you'll see that they have a reports section. In the reports section, they cover two major topics, runway and retail. And for each, they do have men's specific content. So here you'll see that they have the Fall/Winter 2020 Men's Runway Recap. And again, this is going to be in the format of kind of a book that you flip through. It'll include color palette and also runway shots and lookbook shots so that you can get a sense of the actual pieces. And then they also have retail reports. And the retail reports are also going to have a menswear component. So if you want to know what specifically is happening in retail for menswear, just click on through. Other reports are focused on trade shows and street fashion, but these don't necessarily tend to have menswear specific elements. You can find menswear items if you look through this, but it's not necessarily going to have a report that specifically is for menswear. They also have other publications available, and this is where you'll find their color concept and design concept and color workshop resources. And then finally, Design Workshop, which has which has sketches and flats and their fabric reports. These as well aren't necessarily going to have as much men's-specific content, but you can find information for men as well as women's wear when you flip through them. They also have an entire section for beauty that may be a little bit tangential to what you're doing if you're doing just actual fashion design, but it's important for styling and for inspiration because you need to think about what people's full look and style is going to be when you're looking at designing your pieces. The final piece of Doneger is their resources section. And the resources section is where they have city guides and shopping maps, which are some fun additional content so you can get a sense of the major fashion cities around the world. I hope this will help you to use Doneger for all your menswear inspiration and research needs. If you have questions on this or anything else, please ask the library.